I want to address some news you may have seen about me.
An extraordinary apology from George Stephanopoulos live on Good Morning America. He admitted that he donated $75,000 to the Clinton Foundation and failed to disclose it even as he reported on the controversy surrounding the foundation.
But I should have made additional disclosures on air when we covered the foundation. And I now believe that directing personal donations to that foundation was a mistake. Even though I made them strictly to support work done to stop the spread of AIDS, help children, and protect the environment in poor countries, I should have gone the extra mile to avoid even the appearance of a conflict. I apologize to all of you for failing to do that.
The donations came to light after his hard-hitting interview with author Peter Schweitzer, whose book Clinton Cash accuses the Clinton Foundation of taking money from foreign governments and businesses when Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State.
Do you have any evidence that a crime may have been committed? We've done investigative work here at ABC News, found no proof of any kind of direct action, but it's not a criminal. It's not nothing would ruin a criminal investigation. There's no evidence at all that Hillary Clinton got directly involved in this decision.
Stephanopoulos failed to disclose that he himself had donated $75,000 in Clinton cash of his own.
Once a liberal Clinton hack, always a Clinton liberal hack.
ABC News anchor George Stephanopoulos is apologizing and pulling out of his role in a planned GOP presidential debate.
ABC called the omission an honest mistake and said we stand behind him.
I should have gone the extra mile to avoid even the appearance of a conflict. I apologize to all of you for failing to do that.
A few years later.
Congressman, thanks for joining us this morning. You've endorsed Donald Trump for president. Judges and two separate juries have found him liable for rape and for defaming the victim of that rape.
You're shaming me. You're trying
someone
to
who's been
shame
found
me.
liable for rape. Actually, I'm not trying to.
You
shame
are. That's exactly
You're not
what
answering
you're
the
doing.
question.
I think it's disgusting.
Well, you're welcome to say that, but you also have to answer the question. Why are you supporting someone who's been found liable for rape?
Many months later.
Breaking news into CNN, ABC News anchor George Stephanopoulos has reached a settlement with President-elect Donald Trump in his defamation suit. The lawsuit stemming from an interview that Stephanopoulos did with Congresswoman Nancy Mace, where he asserted Trump was found liable for rape in a civil case.
Opinions vary.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Opinions Varied. It's Opinions with an A. Please like, share, and subscribe. And we have another propaganda fail by the mainstream media. And once again, it's George Stephanopoulos of ABC News. Stephanopoulos, a Clinton sycophant, is now in trouble again as ABC has to basically pay out 1 year of his salary, $15 million, plus another $1 million to cover Trump's legal expenses for his defamation lawsuit that was filed against him by Donald Trump, filed against him and ABC News for when Stephanopoulos interviewed Representative Nancy Mace and continuously on that program accused Donald Trump of being convicted of grape. Now, we know that it wasn't grape, it was sexual abuse. Stephanopoulos, the court would have found, as a journalist, should know better. And that is why ABC, before it went any further than this, agreed to settle for $15 million. My question is, when will they fire George Stephanopoulos? This is the second time now he's had to issue a public apology. The first time, as you saw, is when he donated $75,000 to the Clinton Foundation and then was reporting on the Clinton Foundation as far as controversy surrounding that foundation. So George Stephanopoulos is not a journalist. He is a propagandist. He is an activist. He is a Democrat arm of the media. That's all he is. And he is not an honest person. He needs to be thrown off the air. When will ABC do that? I think he's on the air this morning with his show going on as business as usual, and this is why nobody trusts the mainstream media. Without any further ado, speaking of which, we will watch a CNN report on this, and I love getting a CNN report on this because they will always try to slant it in some way to make Trump look bad or make this not as big of a deal as it is. But anyway, I'll comment along the way on that, and we'll take it from there. Let's go.
Breaking news into CNN, ABC News anchor George Stephanopoulos has reached a settlement with President-elect Donald Trump in his defamation suit. The lawsuit stemming from an interview that Stephanopoulos did with Congresswoman Nancy Mace, where he asserted Trump was found liable for rape in a civil case. The network will pay out $16 million as part of that settlement and have to issue an apology. CNN chief media analyst Brian Stelter joining me. And Brian, this is actually
right off the bat, Brian Stelter. Wasn't he fired by CNN for being a hack propagandist and completely dishonest and ratings tanking and everything else? But here he is. He's back again. Like I said, they'll never learn.
Lawsuit with ABC News, the network, and Stephanopoulos. What else can you tell us about this?
That's right. It's not every day that you hear about a major network, a TV network, paying millions of dollars and apologizing to the president-elect. So this is a headline with real ramifications. And as you said, it stems from an episode of George Stephanopoulos' Sunday morning news program where he was talking with a lawmaker, I think it was Nancy Mace, and they were talking about the E. Jean Carroll case. And George Stephanopoulos repeatedly used the word rape, saying Trump was found guilty of rape, liable of rape. Well, in fact, the accurate phrase to use is sexual abuse. That is what the New York court found. But because Stephanopoulos kept using that R word, rape, Trump filed a lawsuit. He filed a defamation suit. We've talked a lot in recent years about people using the courts trying to seek justice. Remember the Sandy Hook case against Alex Jones? Well, those defamation kinds of cases can also be filed by someone like the president-elect. So Trump filed a defamation suit. It was working its way through the courts. ABC was unable to get it thrown out initially. And actually, in the next few days, Trump was set to be deposed in the case. But ABC is avoiding going any further by settling. They're paying out $15 million plus $1 million in attorney's fees. They say this is going to go to a nonprofit, basically to Trump's future library. That's the idea. But maybe most importantly, Jessica, ABC is also apologizing, issuing a statement of regret. I'm just looking at my computer to get the exact wording here. But ABC is going to say, basically attach an editor's note to the website saying it regrets, and George regrets the statements. Meanwhile, an ABC spokesperson.
He doesn't regret it enough because he still has his job. Anybody else who would have just cost their company basically a year's salary of what that person gets paid would be fired. In this case, George Stephanopoulos, he gets paid $15 million. They just paid out $16 million total. You'd be fired if you cost the company you work for a year of your salary because you did something and you know you did something wrong. That's why they settled. They knew once this case didn't get thrown out offhand, dismissed, and it was going to depositions, they knew that they were probably in for over $100 million of a loss if they went to court on this. They would have lost. They know it. That's why they took the settlement.
Tells me they are pleased to have reached this settlement, but it is very notable. They are both paying out money to the president-elect and apologizing for the misstatements on the air.
Certainly. And what else, Brian, does this tell us about the president-elect's possible strategy for dealing with the media going forward? We know he's very litigious.
He's very litigious. Yeah, he's going to sue when you continuously lie about him. Donald Trump did sue CNN. That case was dismissed, but the judge did in the dismissal say that CNN statements were reprehensible, something along those lines. They basically kept accusing Trump of spreading the, quote, big lie when he was talking about the 2020 election. The big lie has references back to Adolf Hitler. And Donald Trump was saying they are basically referencing the big lie over and over again to associate him with Adolf Hitler. The judge didn't find enough of a connection there, and the case was dismissed.
One word comes to mind, the word emboldened. Trump and his team is going to be emboldened by this settlement by ABC, because rather than fight this out any further, rather than trying to go to trial, ABC is choosing to settle. What does that mean? Maybe that means ABC had embarrassing emails or text messages or other material that was going to make the network look bad. Remember, that's one of the reasons why Fox News settled against Dominion last year. Sometimes networks settle because they don't want to drag it out any further and get embarrassed in the court of public opinion.
Or they know they're going to lose.
But regardless of ABC's rationale, and they won't say why exactly they've decided to reach this settlement, it will embolden Trump and his allies, who, as you've said, have shown they want to use the courts in order to achieve certain outcomes they want. In this case,
achieve certain outcomes they want. You mean to stop you, the media, like you, Brian Stelter, and CNN, from spreading continuous lies and propaganda? That's emboldened? Maybe this should embolden the media to start telling the truth. Why don't we look at it that way?
Bingo.
They believe justice is being done by holding ABC accountable. Others would say this is a form of lawfare where you're using the courts to tie up news outlets and embarrass them and cost them, in this case, millions of dollars.
Wow. Lawfare, huh? Yeah. The stuff you used against Donald Trump for the last how many years now?
I'm really struck, Jessica, by the dollar figure, by the way. $16 million. That's a lot of money for any news outlet to be paying out.
It's not enough.
That's going to have, I think, far-reaching ramifications.
CNN's Hadas Gold is here with us now to talk more about this settlement. What more are you learning, Hadas?
Well, Jessica, it's a significant concession for ABC and a victory for President-elect Trump because he's actually had not many victories when it's come to litigation with the media. And so this is sort of a rare victory for him. Now, of those $16 million, $1 million is going to legal fees, and $15 million of that ABC won't actually be paying directly into Donald Trump's bank account, but they say it's going to go into something for a potential future presidential library of some kind for President Trump. So as you noted, what happened was this was an interview back in March with Congresswoman Nancy Mace. And George Stephanopoulos in that interview said 10 times that that a jury had found Trump had raped that writer E. Jean Carroll. Now, while the jury did find Trump liable for sexual abuse, he was not found liable for rape. A judge did say later that the claim that Trump raped Carroll was substantially true in the broader sense of the word, but not as defined by New York law. Now, Trump has denied all wrongdoing and is appealing that verdict. But now, because of this settlement between ABC News,
a hack judge, by the way. Probably, might as well have been Stephanopoulos behind the bench for the case.
And Donald Trump, ABC is going to issue a statement stating their regret in the online article that showed this interview. And they also put out a statement saying that they are pleased that the parties have reached an agreement to dismiss the lawsuit on the terms in the court filing. Now, what's interesting is the timing of all this, because both President-elect Trump and George Stephanopoulos were supposed to sit for depositions related to this coming week. A judge had ruled that they needed to sit for depositions. So it's an interesting timing for this. As for why exactly ABC News chose to settle, because some experts in media law said that ABC News actually had a good chance when it came to this because of the high bar set for defamation in these sorts of cases, especially with a public figure. It is an uncomfortable situation, I imagine, to be a news organization having such a legal fight with the president-elect as he comes in for his second term.
Yeah, no, wrong. They didn't think they were going to win. George Stephanopoulos, as a quote-unquote journalist, should have known better, and he does know better. He didn't care. He wanted to smear Trump on TV like they always do, and he used the R word over and over again, as you just heard 10 times in that interview. 10 times. And if you don't think that somebody, even if he didn't know, there's a producer on that show, if they cared, they would have gotten in his ear and said, correct yourself right now. And he didn't. They knew what they were doing. They know they were going to lose. Yeah, the bar is high for a public figure. There is no one more public right now in the history of the world than Donald Trump, correct? But they would still lose because the bar here is that as a journalist, Stephanopoulos should know better. He should know the difference between the R word and the actual abuse. He should know better. And he should do his due diligence and read exactly what he was found liable for. That's why they were going to lose. And like I said, there is no way that somebody on that program wouldn't have gotten in his ear and said, stop saying it and actually retract it right now. They didn't care. And you know what? Now they're going to pay. I don't think they're paying nearly enough. This should be 10 times what this should be. $150 million is what this should be. If this was against a regular citizen, it would be that kind of a figure. But right now, Trump just probably wants this gone. He's going to run ABC now through the humiliation ritual. He's going to use this against, and maybe right. Is he emboldened? Who knows? If he does, I don't think he cares. He would sue if he felt he was wrong. He would sue regardless if he won or lost this settlement, right? But maybe this will embolden the media. Am I wishful thinking here? Will this embolden the media to maybe start telling the truth a little bit? Or maybe stop just using outright blatant lies to smear Donald Trump and other conservatives? I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell. But you know why I don't think so? Because Stephanopoulos, he still has a job. He should be out the door. This is now the second time, as I said, I showed in the beginning of the video, where he's had to publicly apologize for wrongdoing, for trying to go behind your back. As the person viewing the news program, right? You're supposed to trust the person. Can you trust George Stephanopoulos, whether you lean his way or not politically at this point? How could you trust this man? But he's still there. They'll never learn. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. I appreciate you watching. Follow me on X @OpinionsVary, TikTok @OpinionsVary. Like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. See you next time right here at Opinions Vary.
Opinions vary.